I'm in here trying to record video and you're always out there making a racket. You don't care about what I'm trying to do. Today I'm going to talk about circumstances in our lives and the meaning that we give them. I'm going to give you an example. Picture a guy coming out of a shop, okay, and there's a woman approaching the other direction. He steps aside, he opens the door, and he lets her through. That's what he's been brought up to do. As a gentleman, you open a door for someone else and let them come in, especially a lady. So this is what he's done. Now this lady thinks, wow, that's so good, there's still gentlemen in the world. She says thank you as she walks through the door, and they both go on their merry way. Now picture the same circumstance, and there's a woman approaching the shop and the man's exiting, and he steps aside, he opens the door, holds the door open for the lady, and she comes in, but she gives him a sour look. She doesn't thank you, she doesn't. This lady that now is coming into the shop, she's got the view of a feminist, okay? So in her opinion, the way she's been brought, the things that she's learned and the things that she's been brought up with, in her opinion, women don't need men. They don't want men, they don't need the help of a man. Women can do everything for themselves. So that simple act of him standing aside and opening the door for her, she takes in from the perspective of disrespect rather than respect. Completely different meaning to the same action because of that person's view, because of that person's beliefs and values. So you see the contrast, one action, different people, different values and beliefs, completely different meaning. The reason I'm explaining this is because when something happens in your life, you assign it a meaning. Every single thing that happens, every single time, you assign a meaning to that event. Okay? I'll give you another one. Imagine that you have gone out, you've organised a dinner date with your partner. Okay? Now, a couple of times in the past, your partner has stood you up on dinner dates because of work. Something's come up, she's had to stay at the office late and stood you up. And you've organised this dinner date, trying again, okay? You've organised to meet at the restaurant at 7:30. So you're sitting there, you're waiting at 20 past 7, you're a bit early, you're waiting for her to arrive. 7:30 rolls around, she's still not there. 7:45, 8 o'clock rolls around, she's still not there, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, she's done it again, she's blowing me off again because she's had to stay at work. And you're getting angry. Okay, you're starting to ring her phone, she's not answering, and you give it another half an hour rolls by, she's an hour late, and you're like, that's it, she's done it to me again. You're angry, you're raging, and you get up and you storm out of the restaurant. As you're leaving the restaurant, your phone rings, okay, and it's the hospital. Your wife's been in a car accident, and she's in the hospital, okay. The example here is you've just made assumptions, you've assigned a meaning to a circumstance and made assumptions around that, and that's the meaning you've given it. The meaning that you gave it automatically was that she'd done the same as she did in the past and she'd stood you up. In reality, she was on the way, she had a car accident and she got taken by ambulance to the hospital. Okay, so this is what we tend to do. Now, I'm not saying that with circumstances in your life, you can just change the meaning or anything like that and it's fine. Okay, things happen that affect you. That's the way it is, that's life, and we have to process and deal with these situations that cause us these emotions. But by thinking about that, by thinking what else could this mean? What other meaning can you give to this circumstance? By doing that, you're just allowing yourself to look at the situation from different perspectives, from different angles, from the other person's point of view, from someone else's outsider's point of view. And you're allowing yourself to give that circumstances not necessarily completely different meaning, but at least alter the meaning a bit or add a new influence that can change the whole feeling and emotion around that circumstance. Imagine someone that you've loved has passed away, all right? And the meaning that you give to that is loss. You're completely and utterly focused on what you've lost because this person was a big influence in your life. You love this person dearly, and now they're gone from your life. And you're focusing on the loss. That's the meaning that you've assigned to that situation. And that obviously you get the feelings around that. You get all those emotions involved with losing someone close that you love. Now, what if you can assign different meanings to that? Yes, that's a fact. You've lost that person that you loved. That's not going to change. You can't change that. But what if you start to view it from slightly different angles? Maybe that person was terminally ill and in a hell of a lot of pain, and now they're not. Maybe that's something you can say, okay, well, another meaning I can add to that is that person is now at peace. They're not in pain anymore. So that's a positive that you can add to that, which adds another level of feeling to it. It takes away some of the sting of the loss because it's not all about you, it makes it about them as well. There's cultures that have big parties for a week when someone they love passes away because it's a celebration to them. They celebrate the life they had. They don't mourn the loss like we tend to do in our culture. They celebrate the life. It's the same event, exact same circumstance, but they're looking at it from a different angle. They've given it a different meaning, and it completely changes the emotion and the feeling around that circumstance. So everything that happens in your life, just have a think about that. Everything that's affects you and influences you, just think, what else could this mean? Even little things like if your partner or someone you live with loves animals and you don't particularly like having animals around, right? Think about that. What else could this mean, especially for that person and for me? Maybe it does mean mess around the house, dog fur, dog peed on the floor, whatever, right? It can mean those things, but what else can it mean? Okay, maybe there's some good benefits that you can put in there as well. Maybe it makes that person happy and it makes them treat you better and feel better about the way they live. Okay, so it's just a way of getting you to see another perspective, to see what's happening in your life from a different angle. Maybe if you're in a place where you've separated from your partner, maybe you're focused on the loss, you're focused on the hurt, you're focused on what that's done to your family as far as your kids are concerned, all those things. But maybe the kids are better off with two separate families. Maybe that's better for them than having one that's toxic or not great and there's fighting going on things. Just think about it from different angles. What else could this mean? Instead of focusing on your loss, maybe it could mean that you now have more freedom than you had before. Maybe you can start to do something or do things that you've always wanted to do that you didn't have the chance because you were tied to another person through marriage and they held you back from doing those things. Maybe it's a time now that you can use to rebuild your life, to focus on things that you do want. It doesn't have to be all about the negative. Yes, there's loss, but it doesn't have to be all about the negative. Maybe it's your chance to do something for yourself. Use it. Use that thinking, use that feeling, use that emotion to your benefit. So everything that goes on, just think to yourself, what other meanings can I assign to this situation? What else could this mean? And that will influence the way you feel around the situation. It'll influence the whole thing, and it'll influence the way you can adapt and move forward in your own life with whatever the situation is that you're going through. Thanks so much. I hope you can wrap your head around that one, and it's just a way of opening your mind up to some new possibilities, to new things, and from there enabling you to move forward and get on with your life in a positive manner. And that's what this is about, getting you to see what you can start to do for yourself, getting you to see the life that you do want instead of being focused on the things that you don't want, instead of being focused on the pain and the loss. It's shifting you to what can you benefit from this? What can you start to do to improve yourself? What can you do to learn and grow and benefit the people around you? If you were to be a better person, if you were to learn and grow and have better control of your emotions, better control of your feelings and your actions, what would that mean for the people around you? What would that mean for your kids, for your parents, for all your loved ones, for your friends? What would that do for them, and what would that do for you? That's what I do with you. That's what this training is about, is getting you to see what you can do, getting you to find your own future, getting you to see the possibilities for your life, getting you to see that you can be happy, that you can build a life that you want, you can have the things you want. That is absolutely 100% possible. That's what my job is about, and that's what this course is about. And I really hope it's starting to open up your eyes and starting you to see how you can take control of your own life and what you can do for yourself and for your loved ones and for all those around you, and how you can benefit other people and yourself. So hope this has been helpful, and I will talk to you very soon in the next video.